Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat, erected on Pram FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. You want to watch the show online? Just tap a Nighttime Heat on the Facebook page or your YouTube channel. You subscribe, and of course, you hit the notification bell so anytime the show comes on, you watch the show live. We wanted to share tonight's live video. The show promises to be very, very interesting tonight. We are also streaming live on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Pram FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live as well. Well, tonight, like I said, we'll have major discussions ongoing on the program tonight. But in the meantime, we'll first open the lines for you so that at least you can see what is on your mind. You can have your say tonight on the program. But let me just acquaint you with what is coming up tonight. I'm sure you're quite aware that His Excellency President Joseph Umaboka has transferred to understand the statutory role of the Transport Ministry to the Liberia Transport Management. And so there are concerns whether there would be any security implications by doing that. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Well, we're expecting the man called Abraham Kroman, former police deputy for operations, but it seems that we are not getting him. Also, we're going to look at the issue regarding public anxiety since the formation of the Fuller Security Group. We're going to be asking whether the formation of that group is justified, especially where the Fuller governor has broken silence. We're going to read what he has said, and of course, we'll also talk about that. The chair of the Senate Committee on National Security has urged that there could be serious security implications and data exposure, citizen data exposure, if at all we give the LTM our transport ministry's role. We're going to talk about that as well. Now, how did the Prophet Key, the guy that is currently serving his jail term for 6 months, how did he become so popular and well grounded in the Unity Party? We saw a video that been trending where Prophet Key has been involved. In fact, he was largely involved with giving some monies, raising monies for campaigning of some individuals in the Unity Party. Is that how Prophet Key became grounded in the Unity Party? I see why. In fact, when he was taken to the courts, even Queen Johnson, she said, well, this guy helped our government to come to power. He didn't do anything wrong. So, we're trying to see now as to, how Prophet Key became so popular within the ranks of the ruling Unity Party. We'll talk about that tonight. And also, if time permits, what's the rationale for LEC personnel visiting people's homes at night to arrest power theft? We got a video, where LEC personnel went to the people's home at night. What is are they being backed by law? And what's informing that decision? What's backing them? How do you go to people's homes? I mean, in the night, people are sleeping, and then you're knocking at doors. For what? Has that happened before in our country? Because I think this is the first time, I'm seeing that happen. Where LEC will be, going to people's home in the night and asking them, are you involved with power theft? Let's see what you have here. Why? Why should that happen? Well, tonight we'll be, playing the video and also talking about that, whether that's justified or was that totally wrong. Well, let me welcome my panelists, and then later on I'll open the lines for you so that you can just weigh in on what you want to talk about. Dave, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sabot, and good evening to everyone, including Moses and Prince Kripla in the diaspora. Let me not dare forget about Josh Kennedy and Edwin Famula. Good evening, guys, and good evening to our listeners and
Welcome.
viewers.
All right. Thank you, Tabwa. Thank you for being here. Ed, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Slower. And it's always a privilege to be here. I want to say good evening to my co-panelist, Kennedy, and my brother David Tagwe, and also to you, Slower, and the rest of the team. Once again, we're glad to be here tonight to contribute our quota to our country.
Well, thank you very much, Ed. Really appreciate you being here as well. Let's welcome you, George Kennedy. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Saba. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to you. You are welcome. Please share the show. We're here to just contribute our little knowledge to the show. And thank you for sharing the platform with us, Mr. Saba.
Okay, so listeners want to ask you or encourage you to put your cause. I know there are some concerns you have, concerns about out of the economy, or concerns about out of the roads construction that is ongoing, or maybe concerns about water supply, concerns about unemployment. What do you have concerns about? And maybe your community as well, or the ongoing demolition, concerned about that. Let's hear from you quickly, and let's try to announce the numbers. Let's announce the numbers quickly and hear from you. I want to announce the numbers. We're trying to find the numbers. Apparently, the Prime FM family, they've taken the numbers for the houses, so but we're trying to get it now. So let's announce it quickly for you. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793 for the next 10 minutes, or 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. Let's take the first call on the line quickly. Good evening.
How are you doing, Saba?
I'm okay.
This is Lafana. I am calling from the Charity.
Okay, so let's hear from you.
Oh, my, it's about the name you got on your shoulder. They call Moses Sunday. When you put analyzing your country, they're happening. He's there to promote CDC. But let me tell you, CDC will fall. We never develop, we never put them. They betray the country. We get them 6 years. Nothing they were able to do. Even that good talking, they are not good people. Anytime we get them power, we will loot our country. They will loot everything, all the resources. They will only be for themselves. They don't get people. They don't find job for people. Everybody must say, yes, sir, because they want all to live with them. They will never come to power. Let me tell you, they talking Kabata. Thank you, man.
Okay, many thanks. Your view. Many thanks. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Or better still, 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. Or our alternative line, 0776 540 987. Again, 0776 540 987. We want to hear from you. What is it that you have on your mind? What are you have to do? With the roads, with the ongoing road construction. What it has to do with the demolition. What are the economy? What are the governance of our country? What is it that is on your mind? We want to talk about. Today again we saw some DA personnel cracking down on individuals using narcotics. Is it that important to you that you want to talk about that? Let's hear from you quickly. 0778 460 793. You got 8 minutes to go. 0778 460 793. Better still, 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. That's the numbers to call and to alive on the program tonight. That's the nighttime heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. We are also on YouTube, and of course, we are also on Facebook. We want to share tonight's show. Share the show if you are watching live. Share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Again, the lines are open for you. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Or better still, 0880 086 rather 5050507. Again, 086 050507. 086 050507. That's the numbers to call, and you are live on the nighttime heat. While I'm trying to wait to calls, let me try to welcome my panelist, Dave. I know you'll be thinking about what's on your mind. Kindly make sure that you have it packed, because we'll shortly get to you. We've got a few minutes, just 7 minutes to go. I will still wait to calls from the public. Whatever is on their mind, they can talk about. Just be civil. Just be friendly. Don't be aggressive. Say what you know. Don't say what you don't know. And of course, also say what you can prove, what you've seen. Not I heard it from somebody. At the end of the day, you don't do your own due diligence and you put it out. Hey, don't say it that way. Say what you know and say what you've heard. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Or better still, 086 050507. Again, 086 050507. That's the numbers to call and to alive on the nighttime heat. The nighttime heat is here, it brings you all the views. We don't sift all people's views on this program. And of course, this is not a one-sided program. You listen to some program at night, it's just about criticizing and condemning and beating on the government. No. We make sure that all our views are reflected. If you are against our panelists, all got their own views, we don't tell them, we don't restrict them, we don't get angry with them. What are they sharing the views that they are sharing? No, we don't do it. We make sure just say what you can. Make sure that you have the backing to what you are saying, and of course there's some truism to what you are saying. That's all. That's just the reason for the platform, to allow all sides and all views to be heard. It's not a program, but when you call, you say, "Oh, I don't like this," and of course they present a cut you off. No, we don't do that on this program. We allow your views to be heard. They don't want to think. Just be civil. Don't be aggressive. Don't throw invectives. Just be civil. We'll allow you, give you the airtime. Again, 0778 460 793. 4 more minutes to go. And of course, going to start with our panelists. But you got the floor now. Your listeners, Moses on. Okay, I know. 0778 460 793. Better still, 086 050507. Again, 086 050507. What we are with calls. Let me welcome Moses to the program quickly. Moses, welcome to the nighttime heat.
Thank you, Saba. I'm not sure if I recognize everybody in the studio, but I think Prince is there. George Kennedy, is David Tagway there as well?
Yeah.
Edwin and every one of you and our technical crew. I want to say hi to you. And our people in Monrovia, let me also say hi today. It's a pleasure to be back. It's always a pleasure coming back to be a part of this thought-provoking show. Thank you.
All right, Moses, thank you for joining us. And let me welcome also Prince Crippler. Prince, welcome.
Thank you, Saba. And let me say my appreciation for being here. And hi to the rest of the other colleagues, Moses Sandy, David Tagway, and of course I see George and that of Edwin in their one NPA office, coming live together, and, signifying a great unity of the Unity Party.
That guy is controversial.
It's not.
Messed up firing.
That's the work. That's the work of the CDC looking for relevance.
I
We'll not
know.
give it to you.
You messed
We're
up
not getting
firing.
at our expense. Yeah.
Listen to him.
Okay, so thank you, Prince. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure very shortly we'll ask as to what's on our minds individually, but let me still give the 2 minutes to our public. They left only 2 minutes, 18 minutes after 8. By 8:20 will be coming to you, the panelists, to tell us what's on your mind before we can go into our major discussions. Again, listeners, 0778, viewers, 0778 460-793, or better still 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. Oh wow.
Okay, that's
086
okay.
050507. We sincerely apologize for the sound you just heard. 0778 460-793 or 0860500507. Okay, so gentlemen, let me come to all of you now to ask what's on the mind, so we can talk about what's trending on the mind of each and every one of us. Let me begin with you, David Benedictus Erasmus Namutabe.
Good evening once again. I had a quarrel with a fellow at the intersection of Kerry Street, Kerry and Randall Street. And he ate bananas. And instead of properly disposing of the banana peelings, he dropped them in the center of the street. I said, look, guy, this is wrong. We have to help the Monrovia City Corporation in terms of making sure that our streets are kept clean. You don't just uncontrollably throw garbage all around the place like banana leaf that anybody can step on. He said, oh, my man, leave me alone, man. Like, you the city corporation, this and that. But he raised a salient point that I agree with him. He said, David, look in the street. He said, my brother, look in the streets. Where are the garbage bins that the city corporation had the last time at strategic street corners? Why aren't we seeing them again? So you want me to hold the banana peelings in my hand, and take them along, looking for a place to put it? So that's wrong. We have to help the city corporation. But again, the city corporation, yes, quite a few months ago, it had some baskets of garbage bins in strategic street corners for people to drop their dirt. But those drums have disappeared. I'm not seeing those drums again. Even the baskets they had in some other corners, I'm not seeing them again. So the city corporation needs to try to make sure that it bring back those drums, those garbage drums or bins, so be able to allow people to put their dirt. And if not, the streets way, no matter what efforts the city corporation put in, the streets to continue to be littered by garbage. That's what's on my mind.
Okay, so let's hear from you, Edwin, quickly.
So I want to say kudos to the former director of Enfield. He was removed and he took flight to the court. And I think the court, basically the court ruled in his favor, asking the government to either reinstate him back to his job or they should pay him for the unexpired term. And I think the reason why I'm so interested in this because we see the law working. There are established laws on the issue of tenure position. And many government, even previous government, when a new government come to power, they believe that they can remove everybody from their positions. We saw that happening with the LTA. We saw that happening at the Central Bank of Liberia and other places. But what the court has now started, to put forward, the president of the court has now started to put forward that, look, in as much as the executive has authority to a point, but there are certain positions that are protected by tenure. So therefore, if you're going to get rid of those people, there's two things that you have to do. And it isn't just a blanket that you just have to get rid of them. There has to be a cost. If there's no cost, then it means that you have to pay them for the remaining term that you're supposed to serve. Now, the biggest question is that, do the state have that resources to which to pay somebody off to go and sit home and not doing the job that you're supposed to do, and then the state has to pay another person? So that's the $1 million question now that the executive branch needs to answer to see whether they will reinstill Mr. Dubayan back to his job, or whether the state is going to pay him for the 5 years that he's supposed to be at Enfield. So everyone watching, as the Supreme Court ruling has already indicated that the actions was wrong, his removal was wrong, and therefore he should either be given the job back or he should be paid for his unexpired term. This is indeed a landmark case that everyone will be watching going forward, because it's going to be a determining factor for the next people who will be having quote unquote the turning positions.
Okay, George, let's hear from you.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to remind Mr. Fambule that don't forget about the central bank governor issue. It's another thing that the government paying off, right? Fine. So it's something that a lot of people feel that if they say tenure position, it means you can not be removed. You can be removed, but
For a cost.
Removed for a cost. And if the executive, the appointing power doesn't want, they can pay you off. You can sit down, you talk, to pay you off, and you go. But as you said, it's a bit of waste of money. But I know one thing, somebody was asking me today whether there is a drawing available for the OIA pass and some of those rules. For me, I haven't seen it. Right?
Yeah, there's a drawing.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Is there?
There's a sketch. There's a blueprint.
There's a blueprint.
Blueprint they
So
printed.
probably I haven't seen it. So they were asking, I said, because somebody was
all over the place here.
There's a
somebody
blueprint,
was
They
very
had a
confused.
video.
Yeah, somebody was very
that.
confused and didn't understand, up to now have not understand how the road going to pass over there. But I'm still speaking about this tricycle and motorcycle issue on major highways.
Okay.
The police is playing that here, but I know one day when something happened, that's the time people will start getting serious to put things into place. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure. Sometimes what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Moses, let's hear from you. Anything threatening on your mind?
I just want to talk briefly about a video that I watched today, a news interview conducted by a local reporter. This has to do with the young man that was sodomized. And as I listened to the mom, I was saddened. The lady said that her son is currently hospitalized. Institutions of government, the Ministry of Gender, and the others have abandoned the young man. Mom is a single mom, a mother of 4. Later struggles financially. She said that her son, as a result of the sodomy which he suffered, this man struggles to poop. And the medication is very costly. As I listened to that woman, I was very bothered by that. Because, when someone commits a crime against the state, rape is a felony. It's first degree. Sodomy is first degree. It's a crime against the state. So the burden of prosecuting, the burden of treatment, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm sure my brother family can speak to that. That burden falls on the state. But you allow a struggling mom to take on this responsibility. The Ministry of Gender and the others have abandoned this young man. Then the question that comes is, why do taxpayers in Liberia pay taxes? Are we only paying taxes to pay people's salaries? No safety net? When they need help, no safety net? The man is literally dying. I mean, it's sad, man. We gotta do better on governance. That's what really stands out for me.
Okay, let's hear from you, Prince. What's on your mind?
Basically, Saba, um, I was trying to do some research on Liberia, and I realized that the number of rape cases in the country is so alarming. According to the General Ministry statistics for the 2024, January to October 2024, what I have is from January to October, not December. There were 2,750 plus rape cases in the country. And with all of these alarming information or data, you hardly see any substantial action on the part of the government to mitigate this situation. As a policy, as a student of governance and public administration, when you collect these data, they are intended to inform policy decision making of the government. Yet, with all these alarming data, you don't see any strong effort being made on the part of the government. In fact, what is more appalling and that drew my attention so closely to this data is that there are cases about alleged government officials' involvement into rape and abuse of, in fact, teenagers, females. Today we find we haven't got any redress on any of the cases, and those people are working scot-free because they are government officials. I think that is not an incentive for the national fight to mitigate against rape and abuse in our country. This is sad. Government is constituted for the less privileged, the disadvantaged, and so therefore women and children should be protected, in my view.
Okay, so that's what's on your mind so far. So, listeners and viewers, you can watch the show online. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. We wanted to share tonight's show because it promises to be very, very interesting. We'll be looking at, the President, His Excellency Joseph Maboka, we understand, has already transferred the statutory role of the Transport Ministry to the Liberia Transport Management. We understand a committee has been set up, but by the 1st of March, LTM should be in operation. We're going to look at that, whether that has some security and security implications. We'll be looking at that because it means that all of our data will be in the hands of foreigners. So what's going to happen? We'll look at that tonight, and also, the public anxiety, when it was justified, and the public anxiety over the formation of the Fula security group, when it was justified, especially when the Fula governor has broken silence. We hope to go into what he said. How did the self-styled Prophet Key, how did he become so popular? And what granted was in the Unity Party? We saw the video, and I'm going to play the video of Prophet Key being commended, being praised for racism to 2,000. I hope I got it right. 2,000, a little over $2,000 United States dollars. Actually, for some campaign for key members of Unity Party. We're going to talk about that. If time permits, what's the rationale? We see LEC personnel now. They are visiting our homes. Well, they have not come to Maya, and they shouldn't go there because there could be. I wouldn't tolerate where I'm sleeping. You come and knock my doors. No. I would not tolerate that. I would not open my doors. So they're visiting homes and asking people whether they are part of those who are doing who are involved with power theft. Do they have the backing? Is that what the law says? We're going to ask our law student and. Coincidentally, works with the LEC. I don't know whether he's not advising his people or he's advising them. They're doing their own such thing. I don't know. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So, gentlemen, let's try to get into our discussion quickly. Let me just read this piece that we have. I'll try looking for the other piece. I couldn't get it. But let me read this piece quickly, and then we start our discussion. Government moves to rewrite LTM deal as transport tensions boil over. The government of Liberia has moved to formally revisit and review key provisions of the 2018 concession agreement with Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated, the LTMI, invoking Section 30 to ensure the deal becomes more equitable, practical, and fully implementable. While reaffirming the commitment to the partnership, the government has established an inter-ministerial concession committee, the MCC, to lead good faith negotiations and address long-standing issues that have hindered the concessions rollout. As part of the transition, all Ministry of Transport operations related to driver's licenses and vehicle registration, except the Inspectorate Division, will be shut down by March 1, 2026, clearing the way for LTM to assume full responsibility for these services. Gentlemen, that is there. So by the 1st of March, just I'm sure a few days from now, 2 weeks, we're going to see the LTM, despite all the protests that we saw and are being carried out by Transport Ministry employees when first the news broke out about the LTM coming into operations. The employees felt that that was a violation of the statutory role of the ministry. Well, in the face of that, the president has finally accepted to transfer that role to the Ministry of to the Liberia Transit Management. But in the meantime, before I can come to all of us to get our insight and our views on that, let me try to read something quickly coming from the Senate committee here. Let me try to go there. This is very interesting. It has to do with the discussion that is on hand. I'm trying to pick it up quickly. The Senate committee here. Okay, let me go there quickly. Let me go there quickly to read what has been reported about him. Senate Security Committee urges halt to LTM traffic outsourcing over national security risks. Let me read. The Liberian Senate Committee on National Defense, Security, Intelligence, and Veterans Affairs has urged the immediate suspension of the government's vehicle registration and driver licensing arrangement with the Liberia Traffic Management, the LTMI, warning that transferring operational control of traffic administration systems to a foreign-owned operator could expose sensitive national security infrastructure and to weaken statutory authority. The committee's warning comes as the executive mansion moves forward with implementation of the 2018 concession agreement and has formally notified the company that Ministry of Transport licensing and vehicle registration operations, except the inspectorate divisions, will be closed effective March 1, 2026, allowing LTM to assume full operational responsibility for issuing driver's licenses and registering vehicles while the agreement undergoes review. Let me start there. Let's hear from you.
Well, yes, I picked up that information today, and I was just wondering where are we going, as a country. This is one thing that in as much as I support most of the things the government do, but this is one thing that I will speak against it today. Uh, I don't know why do we have this thinking as Liberians that we are not able to do our own thing, certain things that we cannot do. We've investigated this whole LTM thing. We've learned that it belonged to some, Lebanese group, quote unquote, with some Liberians. I'm not against people doing business of such, but taking the statutory function from an entity that was created by law and giving it to a private firm to run, I think there are a lot of consideration that needs to put, to be put in place. Take for example what we did with APM Terminal. We took the port from ourselves. It's like we are unable to manage the port and gave it into 25 years concession. And then outside of that, even the other one that even have to do with the handling of the cargo stuff, we gave it to private people, even to pay the bills. They have Metex. At first we have this group called BVAC.
Yes, yeah.
We took it from BVAC and gave it to Metex. Then we bring in another company again called CTM. Why do we keep pushing ourselves that we're not able to do these things by ourselves? Why do we want to give the little resources we have? What do we want to share with other people? And in most of these concessions, the country get the little part of it. The people who just sit behind the desks, they make the millions. Take for example, the Lisca deal. 10, 15, 20 years, our whole maritime program has been operated by Lisca. They make all the money and we get the chicken change. And then we sit here, like Brother Moses rightly said, what is happening? Why are we thinking that we can harness so much resources from these things to be able to take care of our people? I think this is a very bad decision. Okay. And like the senator said, I think there should be a halt to it. They need to get back to the drawing board and know what are the issues so that we can move past it. Look, Liberia is the only country I see this thing happening. You go to other countries like Ghana, you don't see these things happening. Ghanaians, in fact, they jealously guard these things for their people. But when you come to Liberia, we push our people aside and say, look, we think the foreigner can do it better. But at the end of it, guess what? They're taking out of it and we get little or nothing. And I think this is completely
okay. Josh, let me ask you, what do you think because this is since 2018, this whole concession came into being and we heard about. Unfortunately, the WIAS administration didn't allow it to pass and they decided to leave in 2024. Why do you think we should, especially when an advice or a suggestion has been made by a senior member of the Senate, a security personnel? He said, well, this thing will have security implications because all of our data will be going into the hands of foreigners. Why do you think it's quite necessary for the government to take such a decision, to allow the LTM take over the role of the Ministry of Transport?
Saba, this is one of the worst liabilities CDC left behind. It's a concession agreement. This matter went to the court. Supreme Court ruled on it that the contract should be implemented. Former President, we are through Natina McGill and his handlers at former Honorable Carlos Gray said that the former president's signature was forged. The former president is here to go to court to say that his signature was forged on that document because you cannot be claiming that your signature was forged, then go to court in your behalf. You're supposed to sue. Because
let's forget about
that is the genesis. That is the liability that was transferred to this country.
I know you make a point.
Yeah.
We are not talking about what a liability being transferred.
But that's it.
The point is, it didn't pass on a President Weah.
It passed.
It
did.
No, it didn't pass because it didn't come into fruition.
No,
so
it didn't pass. Listen. Don't say it didn't pass. I said that it was passed and approved by him.
Comrade.
That's what happened.
The decision taken today by the current president was not taken by President Weah.
It was taken by
Fine.
him.
So let's hear.
It was actually
why
taken by
Akame.
him.
The question is,
Yeah.
why do you think this administration want for such concession to
Please accept.
to pass?
Please
you know,
accept the
to come into
historicity
operation?
of this deal.
No, but we
When
don't want to throw
the
jabs.
concession, no, not jobs.
And this
It's
is
factual.
Akame, this is what most Akame.
So accept the
Akame,
fight on this
Akame,
thing.
this is what more unity partisans do.
Forget about partisan issue.
Akame, instead of you addressing the current issue,
But where is current? This is the liability that was signed by the former president.
Go ahead.
The former president signed this agreement, imposed this devilish investment on the Liberian people, concession on the Liberian people. When he left power, you know what he said? His signature was forged. Forged. He didn't go to court. Senator McGay said the same thing. Former Representative Carlos Gray said, no, they went to court.
Commentary now.
So it's not commentary. It's legal. The other team in power fought. They went to court.
What are you passing it now?
It's not about pass. The word is not pass. The word is enforced.
What are you enforcing it now?
Fine, because the court rule, the court rule against the government that this particular concession is legitimate.
So you see,
not follow it,
do you say it's legal to strip the transport ministry of?
I don't like it from day one.
Okay, let me hold you there.
I don't like it from day one.
Let me hold you there.
Yeah.
But you support the enforcement. You don't like it. I don't know why you stand.
Well, no, you have to listen. You have to move. You have to move the other aspect when you listen to what I'm saying.
The thing is,
if President Barker signed in a concession agreement right now, and different government comes in power tomorrow and is having negative effect on the public, will go there and discuss it. We saying former President Weah, as president of Liberia at the time in 2018, his time, legislature passed this bill. He signs it. When he signed it, later he left power. He said his signature was forged. He didn't go to court. His Minister of State did not go to court. He said to the Senate that the former president's signature was forged. This government tried to reject it. They went to the court, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled in the favor of the company and said, instructed the government to make sure that this particular concession is.
Do you have that Supreme Court ruling?
Oh yes, is there? The Supreme Court website is here.
Why put it out?
Put
To convince us, pull it out. Put it out to convince us. Let's hear you.
You know,
let's hear you.
I disagree with the person who said, I don't know his family, who said that Liberia is the first country in which these things are happening. The first thing is that Sabol in this introductory statement said people protest. Look, good decisions are not always popular with people. Good decisions or good policies will always be unpopular. So people got to protest. And protesting does not.
So is that why God did good? No. No, but I can come in now.
No, Sabol, just allow me to learn.
Okay,
stop this thing.
Land. No, land. I said a good decision.
No, when
I thought you said good decision.
Don't leave me alone. Sabol,
Okay, I'll leave you alone.
I said, people honor all decisions that governments or leaders make will always be popular. And because the decisions are unpopular doesn't mean that they are not good decisions. They are not in the interest of the country. Decisions.
We are making specific reference to the decision taken.
They shouldn't be
a good decision.
No, Sabol.
We are talking about
you always expect people to answer questions in a straight jacket with. Sometimes you have to lay premise. That what solidifies your position on the argument.
But you lay premise and you kind of skew.
I'm not skewing, Sabol.
Okay, fine.
So the thing is that the first thing, why do countries outsource? Outsourcing and a public service, it does not originate from Liberia. I know you say we should talk about Liberia, not other countries. People outsource to ensure maybe efficiency, effectiveness, and
the Supreme Court.
Please hold it. Please hold it.
Wait now.
No, but we're not going to interrupt somebody. Hold it.
Countries outsource some of public services.
We'll come to
ensure efficiency. Outsourcing a public service does not mean that the government doesn't have the capacity or doesn't have the human resource to manage these things. Sometimes government outsourcing does not start from Liberia. Other countries do that to ensure efficiency and also to improve the system in an effective manner. if the government deems it necessary that the agency or the ministry in charge.
Please speak directly to the LTM and the.
But that's what I'm talking about.
No, but you just,
yeah.
If government, you know, you're not being specific. You're just beating around the bush. Tell us about the LTM and the transport ministry. Is the decision taking? Are you saying
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The people in government, including the president, the people in government, including the president, I don't think they just sit one day and just get out and make the decisions. They do consultations with even the security people. They do consultations with each other, with even foreign partners.
So you do support that coming attack, but you talking.
No. I will not say what you want yet. No problem, sorry. I will not say what you want to hear. So the thing is that governments do not always, in most cases or in many cases, make decisions because they want to please themselves or for their own personal aggrandizement. Before they make this, like such a decision,
we're talking about decision concerning LTM. You're going too far. We say LTM. Do you support a decision?
This is not a multiple choice question.
I'm not saying a multiple choice question. Do you support the decision taken?
It's a question that you have to provide basic analysis and premises. So the thing is that so those who made the decision that the responsibility of the transport ministry is transferred to those people, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing.
Let's hold it there.
They know what they're doing.
Let's hear from you, Moses. Your take on that.
Well, I just want to piggyback on what Edwin said. And also what you stated. You see, there are certain services based on what I have seen in the United States. Those services are managed strictly by the state or the country. Sure. In the United States here, anything that has to do with transportation is not in the hands of private entities.
No, because information is important.
Anything that has to do with transportation, issuance of driver's license, renewal,
yes,
registration, vehicle inspection, and all of those are handled by the state. You don't go to see private entities to do that because you're talking about managing the data of your citizens, and you take that and put it in the hands of a foreign country, in the hands of a foreign company. Do you know the risks associated with that? The risks are just too high. And I want to say this, are you making reference to the chair of the Senate Standing Committee on Transport? Unfortunately, what I see coming from the Senate is just a mere publicity stunt. Nothing will happen. The Liberian Senate, the House of Representatives, these are all indirect extension of the executive branch of government. Nothing will happen. They're just putting us show to say, oh yeah, we're working. You know how long the people have been talking about this thing here, my brother? I think our leader need to rather put the interests of our country first. On this one, I agree with my brother Edwin. This is wrong.
Okay, thank you, Moses. Let's hear from you, Mr. Crippler.
So, Sobo and the colleagues, the first thing I'd like to disagree with Comrade George.
Before you come in, Crippler, let me try to speak to, I know you come in, but let me try to speak to what our colleague described as a Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah.
I see a statement that he just forwarded to me. He said, because you're bragging, he said, no. Let's forget that. We talk about justice ministry. You said the quote. Let's forget that.
Read the whole content.
No. That's why he forwarded to me.
Yeah, read the content in the chat room.
I'm reading what he forwarded.
Fine.
I see their politics. Liberia Justice Ministry confirms full implementation of LTM traffic management agreement amid labor discontent. That AICO. I'm reading. The Ministry of Justice has announced the full implementation of the 2018 concession agreement between the government of Liberia and the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated (LTM), a foreign-owned private firm officially transferring responsibility for vehicle registration and driver licensing from the Ministry of Transport to LTM. The development comes despite sustained protests and opposition from affected Ministry of Transport employees, many of whom were laid off as a result of the transition.
Rio.
So
But
go
so-
ahead.
so
Go ahead.
start
Let
it
the man choke.
Yeah,
No.
the agreement initially signed in 2018, but delayed due to legal challenges, was cleared for execution following a Supreme Court ruling on May 28, 2025, which
Okay. So that one I wanted to
no,
call
please,
on.
which removed all legal
So, Sobo,
impediments.
Yeah.
Sobo,
According to the ministry statement, LTM has now been granted full operational authority to finance, develop, manage, and eventually hand over a nationwide traffic management system.
This is George Kennedy.
I didn't see any statement signed by the Supreme Court.
So,
This thing
Sobo.
is quoted by the Ministry of Justice. That's
Sobo.
it. Let me tell you, the Ministry of Justice is part of the executive.
Executive branch.
It's part of the executive branch. Am I lying? A student of law? Am I lying?
So they said May
Right,
18
the
ruling.
message is true.
They said
The
May
message, am I
18
lying?
ruling.
No,
You want to challenge
Yeah,
it?
okay, please. We don't
Come on.
see any Supreme Court ruling there. Let's go to Akane Moses. Let's go to
Prince.
let's hear from Prince.
So,
Don't bring
Sobo,
Justin Bishop here. You see the Supreme Court team.
like I said, I disagree with my brother Josh that former President Weah imposed the Liberia traffic management upon the Liberian people. Like any government, when the CDC government came into being, that traffic management team emanated from the Unity Party administration, and the government saw the deal, those things that were offered as being useful. They attempted to venture into it, and after public outcry, legal scrutiny, the government realized that it was not a good deal because it would have exposed or made vulnerable private citizens' data. So the government abandoned that process. It is the Unity Party administration under President Boyka that is implementing that process. But let's agree as soon we are admitting
Please
that
listen to your
former
brother.
President
Because the
Weah
man is reacting to
administration
you.
signed it.
But in America, I didn't do.
That former President Weah administration signed it. Let's assume we are admitting that that happens. What did the Unity Party government say they came to do? They said former President Weah and the CDC was carrying the country in the wrong direction, and they wanted to take the country in the right direction. If that policy was bad under former President Weah, what a government that got elected on the basis of making promise to make things better do is to overturn those decisions that were bad. They don't say, and the people did it, so we'll continue with it. That's not what they do. But again, that's the normal scapegoating of the Unity Party and all of the elements in the Unity Party. Their own agenda, when it backfires, then they say, and CDC did it too, and President Weah did it too, that President Weah the one who said this. But President Weah appointed former officials of the government to tenure position, and the Unity Party government illegally removed those individuals. But they are not able to say, look, this traffic management arrangement is wrong. It's not in the interest of the Liberian people. We are going to do away with it. They can't say that. But again, here's my real argument. Among 197 countries in the world, there are only 6 countries that are issuing, motor vehicle registration and licenses through private entities. And of those 6 countries, 5 of them are different countries, and Liberia make it 6. All those countries that issue it, they are all only one from Africa, that is South Africa. All of them, they hire local companies and they are domiciled right in the government ministry and agency. They are not a standalone institution. They work with the government department in issuing those documents. So you can see that even those 6 countries have not absolutely turned the responsibility over to a foreign company because it is of national security importance, imperative, to allow foreign companies to issue motor vehicle registration and driver licenses. What's about the aliens that come into the country sober? Those aliens could easily get driver licenses because fellow aliens are the ones that are going to be issuing those driver licenses. They'll be suspect for illegal aliens who enter the country and they will get driver license, they will get vehicle registration, and those aliens will be monitoring our private data. That is wrong. That is wrong.
Okay.
And I want to thank Edwin for the first time.
Thank you. Moses,
I'm firmly against this.
okay.
I hope
Thank
George
you.
will,
Moses, let me comment
George
before
will
you-
remove his partisan hat and realize that this is going to affect the entire country. It's not going to pick between Unity Party and CDC people.
All right. Thank you. Crippler. Moses, let's hear from you.
No, I already spoke on this. Let me
Okay.
pass.
All right.
So,
Okay,
so,
then,
so
okay.
he was speaking to me.
I'm coming. You spoke about a Supreme Court ruling, and according to you send it to my WhatsApp. But what I read doesn't look like a Supreme Court ruling. We have a student of law. What I read is a backing by the Ministry of Justice,
Saying what?
trying to encourage the executive to allow the LTM to operate.
For what?
To operate.
Because of what?
There is no Supreme Court ruling. Bring the ruling.
Supreme
That's
Court.
not ruling there.
So excuse me, Mr. Crippler said something about me.
Let me hold it.
Let me pull Mr. Crippler.
There is no Supreme Court ruling.
It's
George.
not-
Bring the
Let me
Supreme
pour
Court
him
ruling.
2 points. Mr. Crippler, when it comes to concession agreement, probably he say you are a public service student. When it comes to concession agreement, once it is approved, passed by the legislature and approved by the president, the executive doesn't get canceled that way. It's a legal instrument. That is why the executive went to the court. And the court ruled against the government that the contract should be implemented.
No, it's not true.
You come and say it came from the past regime. Who signed it?
It's not true.
Why are you people running away from your own deficiencies in administration?
So why didn't the WIA administration implement it for the 6 years if they signed it?
So the Decent Way Act that was passed in 2015, when they started enforcing it,
administration signed it, why
was
didn't
it agreed with WIA administration?
No.
You can pass a concession.
He's asking now.
Wait, you can pass a law, a
Uh-huh.
concession, and set specific time to enforce it. Oh, no,
for
our
6
law-
years? For whole
You can pass
for
6
6
years
years.
from 2018, the very
No,
first
it
year
not all
of
the
your-
cases here, to be for 5
2018,
years.
since 2018.
from
Yes,
2018,
5 years.
6
After
years
that,
of that time.
I'm coming. Crippler, 1 minute. 1 minute.
So basically,
Let Edwin come in.
and then I'll go back to Prince and Moses. You know, we live in a world where information or data is very key
Mhm.
and important.
Surely.
So, George, if you went to LTM today to register your vehicle or
Mhm.
get a driver license, they take your picture, they get your particular. Don't be surprised that you could be picked up at one airport because somebody's using your name, your identical date of birth,
Your
and
fingerprint as well.
committed a crime somewhere, and then they can pick you up for it because
Sure.
your information is exposed out there.
Sure.
This is something that
So this
George
is why-
explains.
You're not getting my
So-
point.
so-
I'm not supporting.
I'm
I am
coming.
not
Let
supporting.
him
No,
speak.
no. Let me
Let
clear
him
this.
speak. No.
I'm not
But you are
supporting the
clear.
operation
You are clear.
LTM.
You
I'm
are
looking
clear.
at the legality.
You are clear,
That's
my
right.
man. You are
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, you and Mr. Crippler, I know how you're getting this.
So this is why when
Ben.
Prince said, most countries in the world, what they do, yes, you can outsource. I'm not against outsourcing, but this particular form of outsourcing is kept basically for the local companies in your country because
Yes, it
there
is.
the government have a way
Yeah.
to control that information. At a point in time, do you know who are putting our passport for us? Ghanaian company. The Americans raise eyebrow on that. It's completely wrong because you have people information that is being exposed. And somebody, and that is how come our passport end up in the hands of Nigerians and other people. In fact, I even put one of our former passport director into serious problem. You know, and it's like we're still not learning. Look, when we do these concessions, we need to start putting clauses there for review. And I would say this, right? Like Prince always say, we support the United Party government. I do support the United Party government. I have no apology on that. But let me say this. The Unity Party campaign on the mantra that they were going to review these concessions, that they were going to review the APM, not the APM terminal, the Metex deal, the TCM deal. Close to 3 years now, none of these things has happened. So we cannot come and start doing the same thing again and expecting different results. We are in the 21st century where information is very key, where countries are even hacking into database to steal people information. And then we bring in a foreign firm to come and say, look, you know what? Liberians, you go there, you give your information, they will give your driving license, they will give your car license plate. It's a very dangerous security risk. I can see this.
Now, Taba, don't you think it is similar disadvantage of the entire deal, exposing our data as a country, as a people, for which maybe the CDC didn't sign it or they didn't allow it, they didn't enforce it?
That could have been the reason. Perhaps the CDC had good security minds and good legal personalities who must have advised them against that. But when the United Party came, perhaps their own security minds and legal people also told them that it was a good deal. But I don't want to sit there and agree that the government that made that decision did not review all the security implications that you guys are talking about. I doubt it. Had it not been in the interest of the government or the country, I don't think the president would have penned it, or the relevant agencies of government would have agreed for it to be passed or enforced. So I think there's something in it that we're not saying. Maybe we're just dwelling on the negativity, but something is inside. Had it not been the case,
what do you think will be inside when your data will be in the hands of foreigners?
And
what positive thing will be inside?
That's a point you try to elevate. And the way you're thinking about that may have not been the case.
They set a chair they set a chair on national security. Momo Cyrus and others have already elevated that as well. So what is positive in that? When your data will be in the hands of foreigners, that will yes.
So let me just take some instances, because like I said, I may be young among you guys, but I've had a lot of experiences. I've worked in intelligence services in this country.
It's clear that you are young here.
Small boy. But let me say this, right? You see the Kotoka International Airport. Do you know who built that airport? It was a Ghanaian company. And there's a reason why the Ghanaian government refused to give it into the hands of foreigners. The brother of the current president, John Mahama, his brother has an engineering company. It was that company that built Kotoka International Airport, and they bid it into a European standard. When I was working with the intelligence office in Liberia, we had a foreign CIA agent who came to teach us, and he said,
intelligent information,
I will give you guys a history.
Your mayor guiding you. Crippler not like you, but telling you, say, don't give in.
It is not intelligent stuff. Now, what I'm trying to say is about the OAU building in Addis. It was built it was a donation given to the African continent by a foreign power. And do you know what they did? The entire building was bought. They put everything in that building, including computers, everything. When the people work at night, they leave. The guys are sitting in different capital. They back all the data from the system. So it happens, the whole system, they crash. And then they brought the guys who built the property, building, because of the load of data that it can be taken from that place at a certain point in time led to that crash. So they brought the same guys back, they fixed it. After a few months again, the same thing happened. So the people who were running the facility said, probably we need to get another foreign company to come and actually find out what's going on. They brought a group from the United States. They came, they noticed that yes, the building has been bought, that there was a foreign power that were extracting all of the information on a daily basis, but they only do it at night when everybody, have left the office and gone or so. So the guy said, I would like for the head of this building to be here tonight. We'll turn the system on and you just wait. And they did it. They turned the system on. By 12 o'clock in the night, the guy started to back up again the data from within the system. And guess what? The guy took the people on the floor that they put all of those cables. The floor the floor that get hot at that time, just a fire. It was when the guy told them, see, this building was bought by the people who built it. And what they do, they're taking all of your information out every single day. From that day, the OAU decided that they're going to rip off all of the data infrastructure that was in that building. So you see, when you allow people to a certain extent, all right, and I will go further to even tell you, it was because of that, when I was working with the intelligence agency, it was because of that we refused for the Ministry of Justice and other security institutions to move at the ministerial complex.
Now, be careful what you say now, so you can.
Well, because of that, because we were actually informed that you guys have to be very careful with those things.
All right, now listeners of
yours,
you're watching the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. Again, you want to watch the show online? You kindly just tap Nighttime Heat out on your Facebook or your YouTube channel. And of course, we're going to watch the show online. We want you to share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the show. Now, Moses, let me ask this question, Moses, and I'll come to you, Tabwe. What good will it be for the Ministry of Transport if they are only left, if that ministry is only left with the inspectorate part of its work? Because according to the mandate, if all of the licensing and vehicle registration, services are stripped from the ministry, or the only thing the ministry will be left with will be its inspection.
But someone, the first thing is, does the president have the power to strip ministry of its statutory function? No. The legislature does. The legislature does. That's the first question that we must answer. The president does not have that authority that he's abrogating onto himself. Right?
No.
He does not have it.
Yeah, Prince?
Yeah.
If I could just say something, I think the action of the president is predicated on what is in the concession that has already been authorized to take effect as of the 1st. So the concession was legislated. And all of those things, it was legislated. So if it was legislated as reported, signed into law, then that was also considered. Now, what I would like to say is that if we allow this to happen, it means that the Ministry of Transport will be reduced to a mere division.
The concession was not legislated.
Allow me, let me complete. So if that happens, it's like the role of the ministry that should be in control of land and land and sea transport, right?
Rail.
Yeah, okay. All of those, rails here, whatever. Okay, rail and whatever, right? That's supposed to be in control.
Land transportation, sea, air, and land transportation.
Okay, so when you take all this responsibility away from the ministry, basically you're just going to pay people salaries for doing nothing. And do you understand the negative implication of that? Let's assume that you got about 300-400 persons working at the Ministry of transport, vehicle inspection, maybe you may have about what, 40 or 50 person working in that division. So then what happened to the rest of the people? You get paid and stuff.
No, they'll be still they'll be there and getting free money. You know,
So,
because
the first thing is that we need to authenticate that agreement was not legislated. It is a public-private partnership that is emanating from the executive. Let's get something right here.
No, brains
Mr.
construction
Kepler, we
doesn't
posted
work
the
that way.
people over and over. Okay,
Yeah.
we posted the people over and over. They show the legislation, they show the documents. That's when Senator McGill has said that President's signature was forged. He agreed that the legislation was passed. President said that his signature was forged.
So where is the legislation?
President's signature was
Where
forged.
is the legislation?
You want me to do it right now? The minister of transport,
said it in a media interview when the public, when the workers went to protest on the ground of the legislature. He did not confirm that there was a legislation to that effect.
Look, Mr. Kepler will not be going back. It was look. They are aware that there was a legislation.
Where is it?
They feel, and they still feel that a statutory responsibility of the Ministry of Transport was taken away, which is unconstitutional, is wrong. That's their argument. And the court ruled, the Supreme Court ruled on this matter. I don't support LTM operation. We argued this. Excuse me, please. Excuse me, please. Apparently, you don't have information. You don't have it.
I have it.
Go ahead now.
So who's talking now?
Yeah,
I said we must confirm this. So, but I think my recommendation will be that in our next edition we have a little bit of time for people who have information about the identical PPP to bring them forward. I got a copy of the PPP, and it was not a legislated document. I can share that subsequently.
So, may I just suggest something? Prince, Prince, let me just say this. Abu Turkey is not in favor. But this construction we're talking about, it was legislated.
Yeah.
You would never have a concession without going through the legislative process. It was legislated. They went to court. And the court ruled in favor of the company.
That is my argument.
It's a legal document here we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So don't tell us back, but they're way ahead.
You're talking other people's voice. You don't know the thing.
Thank you.
So then in this case now, the only people that have the authority to revoke such a concession would be the legislature.
So, no, but listen,
Edwin was saying that
we legislated Ayrton.
He had the authority to tell his colleague that this thing is bad, we need to record it, and probably
the Senate did it first. They did it first. They record this. They said we're going to discuss. And we discussed this thing here over and over. In fact, the director of a motor vehicle appear here, Mr. Pierre appear here, and we discussed this. The legislature, the Senate, record this along with the House. They record this. They said we are going to straighten it. The court ruling came. Voila, the scrutiny on that. It still remains a sin. Now it's enforcement.
I think, gentlemen, our concern now should be what becomes of the Ministry of Transport that was given that statutory role.
You're just going to have dumber people.
And in addition, what becomes of the employees there as well?
So would the company be operating for the transport?
But
No, they have their own office. I visited there before. I went there before. Yeah, when the whole thing broke up, I visited the before. Yeah.
So we legislated Ayrton and Iboman deal, billions of dollars deal. Those deals, when international concern came about those deals that were supposed to do massive road construction across the country and build stadiums, we reversed that through the executive. Through the executive initially, because the government saw that the international community were kicking against that deal, the executive, the current president, can start the process government's executive who normally put blames on the legislature are governments who are not ready to solve a problem. The president can revert this back to the legislature and say, look, based on my policy at the moment, and based on these number of concerns, there's a need to review that if that deal were ever legislated. So the blame should not only be placed on the legislature. The president in our country, I mean, is supposed to represent the interest of the people. The people elected the president. Our fingerprint will be in the
And the same people elected the legislature.
Some of our fingerprint will be traced. Some of them are likely choose not to own vehicle, put our vehicles in other people's name for fear of of us being traced around the world. So let's not put everything only on the legislature. The president has the authority to also push back on this.
Okay, all right. We'll hold you there. Gentlemen, we'll have to transition quickly. Final comment on this? Any of you? Yeah.
So I think Prince now trying to come back to really get what we mean. People say, oh, we in favor of, I will allow a Lebanese man to get my detail, but you have to know where it started from, which is he didn't know. Today, it left with me that entire concession. Let them go to international court. Let them go. We cancel it. While from the executive or from the legislature, we cancel it. Because, one of the key things, I've been waiting to hear what our Prince were going to talk about this. The Ministry of Transport generates more than 13 million every year from vehicle registration.
With them.
At the end of the day, this company will be giving us for 40 years, 40 million for around 25 years or whatsoever. So just imagine
Pierre said that before
the resources, the revenue we're going to waste here, we're going to lose as a country when we're begging other countries for finances.
So we just need to cancel that deal.
It doesn't make sense. Not cancel it.
And I think that was my opening statement, right? Why do we want to throw away money that should be used for our country?
So what is your suspicion? Somebody in the government?
Why can we have Liberian company? If we want to do it, look, let's say we want to do it locally, right? First of all, I don't see why this thing is even a concession.
No need.
You could have just done a tender if you think that the Ministry of Transport was actually is overburdened. You could have done a local tender and say Liberian companies should apply. And then they could do it. Then now what you would do now, you would take that segment of the people that are doing that work within that Ministry of Transport to come and work with those guys. Some countries, do you know who then makes the lesson plate? Prisoners. And they pay them for it. But there are a lot of ways that you can do these things.
What's going to happen, and this is my parting comment on this. If we continue to support outsourcing,
we'll give away everything.
We'll start outsourcing all of our ministries and agencies.
Everything.
We'll start outsourcing information ministry. Yeah, surely. We'll start outsourcing foreign affairs. We'll start outsourcing national security agency. We'll bring in Ghanaians and Nigerians to come and take over our security. We got to desist from all of this. And this is it's not about trying to maybe hail the decision by the WIAS administration. But in 2018, the whole thing came about 2018. They didn't enforce it until they left power. I'm sure the reason why, because they failed. If we do it, we'll put most of our people out of jobs.
I'd like to ask.
And two are coming. If we do it, it will have its own security implications.
So even bring it up in the first place.
I'm sure that's the reason why.
Okay.
But again, in government, sometimes things happen under the nose of the president. So the president is not aware. So
gentlemen, what's your suspicion? Is there somebody in government that has some specific interest in the vote?
Dave, wait 1 minute. You said, let me say my own. Sometimes in government, things happen under the nose of the president. Few individuals will get together and do their own things without the president knowing.
I'd like to ask a question.
That might have happened during the WIAS administration. But then when it came to the fore, WIAS said, no, we can't do this because if we do it, bulk of our people at the Ministry of Transport will be out of jobs. And besides, we can't go and repeal the law. All those services at the Ministry of Transport Ministry of Transport is carrying out, they were all ascribed or assigned to them by law. So we can't. So I'm sure it's on that basis that they get it.
So
But
I
since
don't agree
2018
with you. I don't agree with
Okay,
you.
you say
I want to
Yes,
ask
go on.
you a question.
Let's go back to the port issue, right? You know,
Okay.
let's go even to the port issue.
Why won't celebrate
Do you know
11
how many
training?
Liberians are now shipping through Guinea and Sierra Leone
Yeah.
because of the same metrics issue? Every day, those guys who are brokers, they come here, they cry because nobody knows how much you're going to pay. Today the bill go up, tomorrow the bill come down.
Sure.
Is this way? And how much do Liberia get out of this? They do nothing. So my thing is that yes, if we want to outsource for efficiency, why aren't we looking for Liberian companies to say, look, Slobo George, you work at this port for maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
Can you open a company?
You got the expertise.
You have the expertise so that you can be able to do this thing. Do we have to bring a firm?
Then they go bring
Lebanon
some foreigners from
or
somewhere.
from Dubai to come and do it for us? Then when are we going? When are we going to start growing Liberian middle class or Liberian millionaires? We'll never get there.
Somebody also was our airport
We'll never get there.
to a Ghanaian businesswoman.
Of course.
They'll refer our eyes here.
Okay.
You're joking.
All right, so gentlemen, let's transition. Let's transition.
Even they handle
Yeah.
it to a
We're hoping that
Georgian company.
we're hoping that the committee set up, but again, a committee has been set up to
start this thing, man.
look at the due, look at the concession.
And then strike that
But
whole
we
thing down.
saw that committee. We thought that the president's decision would have waited, or the president would have waited until the committee concludes. But to say by March 1st,
Now what the court
all those
rulings here?
services will be shut down.
All the
Then-
court rulings here.
Let's transition. Let's transition.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
transition.
When they were to strike it
So,
down.
so if my friend is taking over, then what happened to the work that the entity been doing before March 1st? They've been issuing licenses and what have you.
So
What
they were
happened
in
with
court.
them?
So they were in court. Our no stay order.
What code they were in?
I said Supreme Court, you're not getting this thing.
No, my man, the people started issuing the thing in recent times.
Let's transition, man. Let's do
But
They
that.
are issuing the thing.
No,
That means all those
obviously,
things were
No,
illegal.
I mean the Ministry of Transport just put up new lesson plate.
Yeah.
And those
But
things are
even
not
those
going
people
out.
themselves, man, doing
Those people been doing
Those
like the
are
law said.
I got
More than 1 year they've been doing that thing.
they've been doing that. In fact, there was a
I mean, in America, you don't know what happened here, but
My man, I got the lessons here. I inform more than you. Because I got multiple people that give me information that they can ask you for.
We're not talking only on transitioning now. We're going.
let's transition quickly. On the issue of the Fuller Security Organization that was set up and later on halted by the Ministry of Transport, Ministry
Justice, yeah.
of Justice. The Fuller governor decided to break silence so as to give us an understanding of this group. And let me read what is here that I have. The office of the Fuller governor of Liberia says it is concerned about trending social media posts regarding a group referred to as National Fuller Security of Liberia, with claims that the group is a tribal militia or a terrorist group. These claims are far-fetched, biased, misleading, and only intended to bring the Fuller community to public disrepute. According to the governor's office, the Fuller Security of Liberia is a voluntary group established in 2011 and involved with community service for the Muslim community, mainly during the month of Ramadan, fast month. These individuals ensure that night prayers remain orderly and to work closely with the Liberian National Police to ensure that worshippers arrive and leave various mosques peacefully and safely. They have a track record of voluntarily escorting worshippers from the mosque to the point of boarding taxi, cabs, or kekes. As a law-abiding community, which has confidence in the government of Liberia's ability to handle the safety and security of the state, we are shocked by such outrageous claims and urge all those involved in spreading such claims to stop immediately. Now, gentlemen, that's the Fuller governor reaction, the governor's reaction. He indicated that the group was set up since 2011, and it's a voluntary group. And he indicated that the police is in the know. But for us to see a reaction from the police yesterday, we read that.
Yeah.
Police distancing itself. Let's hear from you, Edwin.
Well, I think I stated this last night. I said maybe we actually getting the, giving this thing the wrong connotation or so. But I know very well that during the month of Ramadan, I think which has commenced now. Or
tonight.
Yes. During the month of Ramadan, the Islamic folks spend most of their time in the mosques, maybe late hours at night, and they have to commute home or so. And then they have to come back early in the morning, maybe during the odd hours of the morning, around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of them take the food to the mosque to eat before they can start their fast or so. So that's why I said last night, maybe we're actually getting something wrong. But again, the nomenclature that was put onto it, that's what raised our brows, because it is not only Fullahs who are Muslims. There are different nationalities that go to the mosque at that odd hour. So if you have said this is just a private security, force to be able to protect our worshippers that go to the various mosques, because even Benson Street Mosque, when you come there, maybe around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's packed with people. And yes, look, the police or the security apparatus are not everywhere. They will not be able to be everywhere. You go to the fish market, malls, they're there. But again, sometimes the way the information is disseminated to the public, it raises eyebrows. And I can say this to the governor. I think the missteps were that the nomenclature that it given, it puts everybody in that.
Let's forget about the nomenclature, and let me come to you, Tagwe, on this. You heard the man saying, the governor saying, that this force has been in force, it has been in existence
since 2011.
Since 2011.
The current police
So 2011, did he hear about it at that time?
We didn't hear about it.
You didn't hear about it?
No.
And maybe...
And according to him, the police were in the know as well.
So if the police were in the know, what then the police is distancing yourself? Another thing, a Fuller governor saying that it's now a terrorist group, it does not mean that it's now a terrorist group, or it can be a terrorist group. The fact of it, look, why it is true that they have some security concerns, but I do know, I follow the politician in Guinea. I know that the Fuller people, the Fuller tribe, I said it yesterday, they're a marginalized group. There's a possibility that potential opposition in Guinea can use any group trained on Liberian ground to cause instability in Guinea. I'm not saying that's the intention, but don't rule out anything, right? This is a group. The last time they said they wanted to be tribe in Liberia, right? Today they say they form a security group. What do they want? What they want? You have to read between the line and beyond. You work with security intelligent people, my brother. So you can underestimate anything, most especially in a politically charged or polarized society like Guinea community, where in Guinea where the Fuller tribes are a marginalized group of people in Guinea, and they forming a security group in Liberia, training, having their own training, even not only like Edwin said, why ascribe the new Fuller security and a service or agency?
Let me hold you there. Ed, my name's George.
Yeah.
You heard if this group was going to be a bad group, like people were trying to spread, the group would have been long since. Because since 2011, and like you said, it's a voluntary group. So do you think the public
that's what we're coming. That's what the Fuller governor said. Have we checked the records to determine whether they actually been in existence since 2011? We have to check the records. Whether they registered, whether they have actual incorporation since
But David
2011.
Tagwe,
We
again,
need to see all those
David Tagwe, look at the circumstances when this thing,
to validate why he
David
claimed.
Tagwe, then look at the circumstances. When did this thing actually erupt?
Like a few days.
You look at the time frame, pushing to the month of Ramadan, right? So basically, it speaks to you to say that, like I'm saying, there's a possibility. That is the idea behind it. Our people will be going to the mosques. Sometimes they get attacked. Sometimes, you know, a criminal hijack them. They need to have some
and members of the national police.
And then the other argument, and this is another
It-
argument
it-
is that this is not the first time the Muslim people are having Ramadan. Do we have a history of?
But
the governor said,
No, we don't have a history that isolated maybe the
That is
No.
nothing to defend here. This group is wrong.
What makes it?
The fact that it is travel and even linking to religion even poses more danger to the country. Let us stop playing with our future security. Why if the Christian can someone like Platinum is there forming day for Christianity? Everybody fall under the national security of Liberia. You want to go worship, write the police, name your Muslim police deployment there. They got police there post all over. Why do you name a specific tribal group from the Islamic group to protect Islamic people? This is not in Nigeria.
There's nothing you can justify here.
Nothing to justify. In fact, are you telling me that the Justice Ministry does not have records of registered private security firms? They came out to deny it. You said 2011. Justice Ministry can go by and name you security firms that were established in the 80s. And they stay here.
But like he
So
says, a voluntary group.
He says a voluntary group.
Please.
Since 2011.
Please, it's not enough. You're treating the point militaries on it. They're looking at that and you can say voluntary group. How they put
So
also be
a
here?
voluntary group wearing khaki.
Chanting military chant. Look, anything we see, anything they see, anything we see in this country that tend to remind us about our most recent violent past, we should resist it. I want to get them to disband that group.
Okay,
Let me assist.
let's hear from you, Moses. Moses, we read the reaction of the governor. The governor said this group is a voluntary group. They've been around since 2011. They never pose any threat. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone has said, the nomenclature is the problem. Fuller, Muslim. And like George said, we have national security in the country. And that responsibility falls squarely on our national government. You need help with policing, ask the police. I mean, those people raise a lot of money. If they can put a few dollars together, they say, hey, every night, because we have fear that when we go in here, people come and
Let me
take our
hold you there. Let me hold you there. Let me hold you there.
Yes.
There's a line that maybe many of us are not emphasizing or we are not talking about.
What is that?
Listen to the governor. The governor said these individuals ensure that night prayers remain orderly and work closely with Liberian National Police.
But how can the police say they don't know them?
So go ask the police.
No,
But the governor is saying that this
So I trust the government and the police.
I believe the police.
You trust the governor, the fuller government and the police.
That is where again,
Don't get Moses time, please.
so again, so that is where again the governor himself has created a problem. Because if we are working in collaboration with the police, then how can the police will say we are not aware of you?
And how can
We are not aware of your existence. Then how are you training without the police? The justice ministry say, hey, we got no information on these people.
Look, it's possible, Moses, it's possible
Yes, Saba.
that some elements within the police be aiding these people.
But if they say
Are they training at the police academy?
It's possible.
Are they training at the
police
police
station and the
academy?
people does not mean that at the
Are
police.
Wait a minute, 1 minute.
Are they training at the
One
police
minute,
academy?
1 minute. That is it. We talked about LTM today. We are didn't know the LTM.
Why are you we are there?
So many
Let's
people
not
are
go
going
this
to
way.
Lebanese friends.
Go ahead, Moses. Go ahead. You
Yeah.
don't give me time. Go ahead, Moses.
Academy, please to talk again.
no, I'm okay. You know, you guys can continue, but
Yes,
we
so
all
let me
make,
let me
we
give
all
my
say
own
the
view,
same
Saba.
thing. All the key entities of government saying that they don't know you, they don't know you. So when you say
We are about to go through the Ramadan. We are about to pray.
Look at
Do you see the full governor one make story?
The
That in the village. No.
So is the full governor
No,
in
we
job?
are talking with you. We're talking to you. We talking to you.
Saba,
Let's ask Prince quickly.
That please come here. Please come here.
Quickly, yeah.
so Saba, here is it.
Mhm.
Is there issue about privately run illegal militant group unprecedented? My answer is no.
Okay.
It's not unprecedented. Today, when you go in our country, there are many communities with vigilante groups.
I was just about to say that.
With vigilante groups.
Trouble.
There are police, there are segments in the police that work with those communities
Vigilante.
Yeah,
to
that's trouble.
establish their community policing or vigilante groups. I personally have found out a lot of community vigilante groups. Today in that same country, butt naked, Joshua Blai, he run a militant group there that wear black. Before I left that country at the National Water and Sanitation Commission, when the guy who was being installed there felt insecure, he called Joshua Blai and he said, "Oh, 100 of
This is
his
a
men."
deviation, man.
No.
This is a deviation. This is a deviation. It's a deviation. We're talking about trouble. It's a deviation.
Someone when you want to protect it.
Oh,
Why waste our time
power
here?
and religious competition.
You're wasting our time. It's a
Don't waste our
deviation.
time, man, please.
So can you allow me let my
We got
thoughts?
respect for each other's view.
But it's not about vigilante group. It's not
Can you
about.
allow me let my thoughts?
You talk about vigilante group.
Gentlemen, the man is still in speech.
Oh,
It
let-
seems
let-
like.
So
Go ahead.
Joshua Blai group is not a vigilante group. But the point I'm making here is sober. We Liberians in the diaspora, we already cry about racism. In Liberia, anything that is associated with Muslim, Mandinko, Fula, it always gets a lot of public sentiment. And we cannot be claiming or talking about running a constitutional democracy. And then we want to be selective in our approach to the governance of our country. This thing is only because today is Fula people or quote unquote Muslim people. I'm a Christian. That is why it's all about. The police is aware of that group. That group have been existing for decades, if not decades. The police is aware. But the fact that public sentiment have come up, the police does not want to muster the courage to show leadership that, look, we are aware of this group. We don't think they pose threat to the national security of the country. The police does not want to say that because today is Fula group. And that is unfair. That is unfair. You know, even if the police disagree or they don't disagree, there will be hundreds of thousands of Muslims that will be going to pray. And they will form private group that will protect themselves because the police does not have the capacity to be everywhere at the same time. In political institution, we got militant groups that wear khakis. United Party has it, CDC has it. All the parties have those groups.
Okay.
So why are we being so, pushing back on the Fula governor? The Fula governor is right. Everything he said there is right. But the police will not muster the courage to be.
All right. Well, thank you, Prince. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
quickly.
let me just come in. You see, we need to stop just blowing sentiment around these things. Yes, we all are cognizant of what is happening around here or what is happening in other countries in terms of, terrorism and all of these things. And I said it again last night. This is the 21st century. nobody will come and form a militia group in a capital city.
Mhm.
You have vast forests here. People can go there and do things where nobody will know.
Mhm.
So people who wants to engage in those, they're not stupid people to come into the city where they want to establish a militia group because they have negative intent. My thing is that it is just the nomenclature. And sometimes when you see people doing these things, it's because they've had history. I'm from an Islamic background. I know that certain times during the holy month of Ramadan, these people even sleep at the mosque.
Mhm.
And like Prince Redley said, we do not have the security capacity to guard all of the mosques within the Republic of Liberia. It's not there. And somebody telling me, say, oh, they can get the joint security. Are you saying to us that you will have the security put to leave other areas or patrol to go and man mosques for people? No. So these people have come together and said, look, since we're about to enter the month of Ramadan, we need to activate these guys so that they can help protect the mosque when our people are there at night praying, because they may have had history where they're praying and criminals run on them into the mosques, taking cell phones or doing XYZ or so. So they try to protect that barrier. All right. So let's stop making it seem like, people want to do this, they want to do this. That's not the thing here. And I 100% agree with the Fuller governor. My only thing is that it is the nomenclature that they give it to try to tie it to a tribal thing.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's why I said the reason why it popped us, because they were about to enter the month of Ramadan, and these guys have been sitting for a whole year. They said, okay, let's try to bring these guys out to let them know that we get 2 days to Ramadan. So we have to now start to get them ready to deploy them to these mosques to protect these people at night when they come into worship and when they're going home.
Okay, so I spoke with somebody close to the governor today. They are holding discussions. They are holding discussions.
Yes, our guy.
But journalism,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
I spoke
with somebody
let's
close
all
to the
finish.
governor,
So-
and they are holding discussions. Yes, many of the individuals who are concerned, they are concerned about the nomenclature, like Edwin said.
The name
That
of
we
it.
But
must
the
say-
group is not a bad group, like they said, that they indicated in the press release. The individual, even in fact, explained more, gave more details. He said, look, often when our people gather to pray, before the people can return from the mosque, all their slippers and shoes can disappear.
Some of that car
Yes.
batteries, people
The car batteries all can
vandalize
disappear.
their vehicles.
So we have this group. It's just a voluntary group, but we are not terrorists. It doesn't have any negative implication or connection, not at all. So, but we are holding discussion with the the national security, so that they can understand our role. But I think, like I said, and I still maintain it. Apparently, there are some individuals within the ranks and file of the LNP that know about the operation of the group, because the governor will not say these people have been working in collaboration with the police. It's just that maybe because of the public outcry, because of the optics. So the police came out to say, well, we distance, we don't know about them. But I'm sure the police will have had some.
So that what happened to that?
So-
So
so-
that happened
so
to
the
the foyer,
truth is-
the foyer
The truth,
palace?
the truth
You are
is,
going out of charge,
the
General.
truth is,
Yeah,
the truth is, I don't want to really give credence to the passionate pleas. We all know that the nomenclature and the religious something, that's what everyone else got problem with, right? But when it comes to
No, public
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
put marching, when you put recruiting. That's
no,
when you put that fear.
don't put
Imagine they put a chanting.
your opinion on me. It was just something that I said, right? So I heard my brother, Mr. Famble, saying, the joint security not plenty. The group that you saw over there, they equal to a unit of the police. The group that you saw during our exercise.
Oh yes.
No.
No, but I just want that.
They are not.
They're not
They are not.
few.
So we say,
You see all of them?
you don't know them.
If
You
that
don't
could
know
just be-
the national
that
security.
could just be for the
So-
people
so-
that
so we
for
say-
the worshippers that
I
are
brought that
in
to you because it's somebody
Exactly.
said, I don't want said why you saying this. So for me, I like to show
But we
myself.
can't take
when I
the
get my
police
opinion.
out of their work to go to burn
This
mosques.
is my point. When police are white to go to mosque, It is police responsibility when people go in the churches
First
to
of
be
all,
secure
You know
to
how many
protect them.
mosques in the
It is
world?
police. No,
You
please
have
give me chance.
challenges.
Please give me chance.
No, gentlemen, the fuller we got
Please,
confusion.
please
Time is
give me
not in our way.
chance.
You have
Time is-
challenges.
Mr. Fambule, you were talking, I'll give you chance. I know you say you got Islamic background, you like to be passionate about it. Everyone are all passionate about one another. So we say here, Mr. Fambule, please.
No, go ahead.
Restore the sanity of the newsroom, please. Yeah, man. We are saying here, even if Christians are going to tarry, whatever, the first line of your defense for your protection is the police.
No, that yourself. That
Yeah,
yourself.
man. We're talking about national security, man. Please, we're not talking
You
about
go
the
for
literal.
the time,
First
yes,
time,
police
defend
look
yourself.
My man, we're
Before
not
the
talking
first
about
time,
literal one. We're talking about national
Self-preservation is
security.
the first law of nature.
My man.
No, Judge, accept that one.
No,
No, Judge, accept that one.
we're talking about national
No,
security.
Judge, accept that one. Accept that one.
My man, you guys are not going to defeat the discussion.
Not
So
because,
you write the police,
not because Prince come
you
from.
write the police sends security. Even
Yeah.
if you have enough
Yeah.
group that you put together to work with the police there.
Mhm.
But you can't tell me, say, Mr. Family, the police not enough, so they're not so be there. You should get full out group. You call it full out security.
First of all, what I
My
said.
man,
First of all, what I
please,
said.
I got
no,
the floor when you were speaking. I gave you a chance.
Yeah, but you.
Yeah, you're not the moderator.
I thought you done now. But
No, you are not the moderator.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moderator will come to counsel. Nobody against private security.
Yeah.
Nobody here against private security. And we know that what I called A.B. Kroma yesterday. We know some Muslim people that got national private security. When you go in pilot security, you see the men, you know they are from all over the country. But if you set a security group, you say full security and they're going to protect you because you're going to the mosque, you just destroy it. You destroy it. We don't need that.
That one,
But
everybody agree
George,
with that
you
one.
are
Yeah, and that's why we say
Someone-
appeal to me. That's why we say it. That's our point.
But we're telling you.
Yeah,
But
so
Mr.
what-
President
Even the
is
police
still
say,
tapping
hey,
what people hate
hey,
Muslims.
And then you spoke, man. The man
Yeah,
You
no,
are the
so
moderator.
someone.
Yeah,
So
the police
Right.
itself in many instances have talked about limited capacity. The police itself has spoken about
Yeah.
limited logistics. And we're talking about night operations when the police is stressed out in other areas or so. These group of people have to go to their worship places. They need protection. And then you telling me that, oh, you can go back there and get the entire joint security
Don't put I didn't say
operation
entire.
deploy at
I
night.
said you
to
can
be
read
able to
them.
march-
I don't care how you tell the
to-
modified this
to
to
guide
please
the
you.
bus.
All right,
Because
gentlemen,
you are
gentlemen,
passionate about them. You and I are
Gentlemen.
only on this one.
gentlemen, for the
That
first
group
time.
will be resisted if you remain like that. Period.
No, we are discussion. We are discussing.
and someone.
Who will still
Someone.
remain in existence.
Someone-
Yeah,
No,
no,
someone.
Can't stay like that.
one
One
minute.
minute.
Other group will be formed.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute. 1 minute. For
Let
the first time,
Yeah.
for the first time, we've received in our live studio journalist Kelvin Deming.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you want to also weigh in on some of the things that we're talking about tonight. He's part of the nighttime heat. He said he has come to also feel the heat as well. Yeah, Moses, go ahead. Go ahead, then we can go to Kelvin.
Okay, Kevin, it's a pleasure to have you tonight. But quickly, let me just say there's two things that really stands out: the nomenclature, the name of the group,
Guys,
And
have
then-
you told the nomenclature?
and then another thing that stands out.
It's
Yeah.
not legal.
But the governor said it. He said,
Yeah.
the
So
Actually,
Let
okay,
Moses learn now. Let
no,
Moses
no,
learn.
no. Let's try to correct the checkpoint. The
Oh,
governor
well.
said the group is keeping into force to protect the
Yeah, but-
Muslim community during the
but,
Ramadan. What is it?
yeah, but someone.
It's a Muslim community. They should be
Yeah,
collected.
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Moses
So
learn.
No, the Moses chance, please, David.
okay, yeah. So what I was saying here is that given where we came from, the Civil War
Mhm.
associated with various tribal groups, when Liberians heard the name Fula, it took them right back to the Civil War. That is how groups started forming. That flashback, the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder, that's where people went back to. That's when the anxiety kicked in, the fear, that something terrible is about to happen in this country. Let's look at this in the broader context. Somebody going to say, oh, yeah, we just want to provide security. Yeah, we agree. But don't we have institutions of government that you can collaborate with? You say you're working with the police. Then why you got people wearing uniform all over the place? Let us look at it in a broader context, my brother. Thank you.
All right. So you made your point. Kevin, welcome to the program.
Saba, I thought you were giving me a point.
I know. I'm coming to you. Yeah, Kevin, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Sovereign, thanks to all of you on the show. Sorry, I was a guest who was not invited. And I just jumped.
No problem.
I just jumped into it. No, so I have to show something. But the thing is that I come from the background of a bit of interaction and knowing. I mean, this is my view. I think I want to agree with what's his name, Moses. I heard all of you people bashing at Moses. The first thing is that this group claimed that they've been established since 2011. My friend Edwin should be in the know. Why do I say so?
And not only established since 2011, they've been working with the Labrador National Police.
They've been working
closely, according to them.
That's according to them.
Yeah.
But I know some 5-6 years ago, right next to where my friend used to live, Edwin, there was a high-profile Fula figure who came from Guinea or somewhere, and they visited. Hey, I think I saw you. They visited that area, and that was when I caught sight of this group. So, in some ways, to me, it informs me that there was an establishment of this group since that time.
And which year was that, Edwin?
That was 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years ago, just right next to where my colleague, where my brother used to live. Right? I forgot the name of this.
Seli
Diallo. So you see there? So he came. The LNP were in person. And not only that, this particular group was also present. Providing security.
Can you imagine that?
That's one. On yesterday, when we read on the Prime Morning Drive, when we had the conversation about the establishment of this group, there was something revealing. Our colleague called the former 102 and talked about the establishment or the introduction of this group years back when he was in the position as 102. I still have the audio. He called into the show and clarified, but they did not give legitimacy to the group because one of the members of the group was found with huge sum of money and was linked to something other than. And so that was what precipitated the for lack of a better word, what made the government skeptical of giving legitimacy and rights to that group. So in some ways, my colleague is a legal person and he worked in the security sector. So they were operating, should I say covertly, or they were operating seasonally, or when there are occasions that would deem the need for their existence. The case of what I told you about 4 or 5 years ago, about Seli Diallo coming, and they were there. And then they said in the release that we operate during this period, seasonally. Of course, it's the Ramadan season, and so that's part of. There's something I also realized. They also in tune that the group was established as a result of theft, attack, because the morning prayers is around 5 o'clock. So if it is at 5 o'clock, so contingent on your distance, it means that you have to wake up before 5 o'clock. technically it means that it has to be around 3 because they have to cook to eat before they go for fast. Let's be honest, right? So criminals will respond to mood, right? The criminals will respond to mood. The criminals know that because our Muslim brothers and sisters, fathers, sons, and daughters will have to wake up early at 4 o'clock to congregate to their different mosques, so they will say what we call trap for them. Can we ignore that the lives of these people are threatened?
No.
Then that will be unfair.
Yeah, that would be unfair.
Right?
Unfair.
That would be unfair. For me, I like to go to the nitty-gritty. Can we say that these people, they lie and there's no need to have the things they're saying? Now, the reasons for the formation is one thing. Can we dismiss the argument that their lives have been threatened when we ourselves, our lives have been threatened? The list goes on and on.
Yeah, sure.
You and I know very well that a lot of people will now want to congregate at different intersections early morning hours before the installation of lights, right? They wouldn't want to do the street lights. So when the place is dark, they wouldn't venture go into those areas, right? Because there's no light. There's no light. Now, be it as it may, we can't dismiss that these people are being attacked. You know, thieves will run into them, take their phones, take their belongings, their bags, and you just name it. So it was based upon that, according to them, that this group was formed, right? It's one thing that the government said they didn't know. He raised a very fundamental point, and I heard other you people say, oh, this is deviating from the topic. What is the difference from this Malaysia-style group and that of the ones that we have in the student groupings? But I don't have to call the names. The students, do they dress like students?
No.
The Self-Star, SUP, Student Unification Party, Vanguard Party, if we are talking about being suspicious, do they dress like, we all know how students dress, right? Our friend and brother is graduating from the law school. The way he dresses, it shows that indeed the study that he obtained that must have clearance his graduation is what he's studied. If he's come here every day in the military regalia, in khaki boots, in khaki trousers, we will be thinking like, but what kind of lawyer here? What day he wearing military regalia? You coming graduate for law school? What day he wearing military regalia? There are courses, trades, and vocations that come with a certain dress code.
Surely.
And most persons that frown on the student community for a self-styled Malaysia dress code, right? Now, what is the difference from the students' Malaysia style dress code and that of most of the prominent political institutions?
Even
the Youth League,
even the freedom fighters of Emmanuel Gonkwe.
yeah, Emmanuel Gonkwe. Is there
fine.
any difference from the Emmanuel Gonkwe way of dressing?
Yeah.
You know, the EFFL, from that of the Student Vanguard, from that of the Student Unification Party, from that of how you call it, the United Party Youth League.
Thank you.
The Coalition for Democratic Change Youth League. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
There's absolutely no difference. And don't they protect their standard bearers, their
They
political
do.
leaders?
They do.
With the presence of police.
Yeah.
The only reason why you see this is taking height is part of what I observe is that there is a conflict and a disposition with a certain ethnic group that I wouldn't call in them, because a lot of them call, which is evident, a particular group of those people call bashing at them. Oh, you gotta be careful, and this is evident in my conversation on yesterday. You gotta be careful with the Fula people. You gotta be careful. Any people here, they are associated with this group that is linked to terrorism and blah 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 blah. But when we look in our different groups, we find these self-styled Malaysians.
Yeah, surely.
In Christendom, who provide dominant security for Prophet Nkrumah, the man who got the convoy? His convoy is equivalent to that of the Speaker of the House. Nkrumah's convoy even more than the Speaker of the House, true or false. Nkrumah has his own security. The only difference is that if they dress style as compared to the EPS, you don't tell the difference. If the guys can dress even more, the coats are very clean.
I don't think they carry arms.
So the argument
What
here.
about do the Fulani people carry arms?
Kevin, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah.
The main argument here is
Yes. You said
No,
Yeah.
so you can't lie, George.
Wait.
apart of the release did not say try.
gave chance,
Yeah.
let me come in. The name of the group, what it says.
What it says?
Call the name of the group.
No, you tell me because I don't see it. What did it say? Go ahead.
They're calling the full security.
Yeah,
But what is wrong with that?
So,
So,
they're providing
what is
security.
wrong with that?
You know the meaning?
Why?
What it means?
So why if the other tribes decide to fund their own security?
They are providing security.
How will
So
Liberia
what
be
is
that?
group?
No,
Well,
the
that-
law
no,
does not
no,
provide
it is
that.
wrong. I agree with
It
you.
is very
It is
wrong.
wrong, but we should
against
not
the
act like
law.
this is only unique to the
no,
full
no. That's not our argument. So if you see it, whenever you see it, you have to resist it so you can stop. We don't want to see that.
Is it happening only in the Fula community?
Tell me one
Don't you
tribe.
see them existing?
Tell me one tribe.
No, it does not have to be tribe, and we should
But
not
this
use
is tribe. This is what we're saying. Tribe.
Hold on. Let's go back to the release. What did the release say? The release did not specify tribe only. Let's go back to the release.
said the
Suburb.
Muslim
Let's
community.
read. No. Let's read the release. Let me go to it. Okay, let me go to the release. The release say here that the government of Liberia will not recognize, legitimize, or tolerate the formation of unauthorized security structures. Security structures, particularly those organized along ethnic, which is your argument, tribal, communal,
So
right?
it's finished.
Or
Okay.
sectarian lines.
That's
What
all I
is
wanted to
communal
know.
and sectarian? What is
That's
communal
all.
and sectarian lines?
That's all I wanted to know.
National security, law enforcement, and public order, constitutional responsibility legally. The ministry of emphasizes that Liberia is a state governed by law. No individual or group, regardless of identity, affiliation. It did not say a tribal group
Please.
only.
It
It didn't
told
limit
you
it.
the-
So you
the
say even
argument-
Prime FM,
Kevin.
we do not have the right to
Mr.
have a
Dennis.
cell-style security that is unauthorized, that does not have legitimacy by the
Mr. Dennis.
government of Liberia.
Mr. Demi,
So the group that we have
why
here, many our gate, has been licensed and authorized by the government of Liberia.
really I wanted you to when I wanted
So
to
what
get
limit
for
you
the
with the tribal?
wait, why really I wanted to understand
Yeah.
that is the law prohibits the establishment of
Agreed.
the tribal security. That's all I'm saying here.
Yeah, agreed.
So all I'm saying they are modifiers.
Agreed.
Law went beyond that.
Right, so-
The law went beyond that.
But
The
you
legal
even better.
sense here.
So-
It did not say tribal only.
No.
It did
So-
not say tribal only. That was specifically the reason I
So
came
when you
here.
went to sue,
So when
political
our
parties-
friend in the US, is it Moses Wayu?
Yeah, no.
no, I'm saying
Oh,
that's
okay.
Prince
Moses
Christopher.
Sandy.
So Prince
Oh, Moses Sandy, yeah.
or Moses Sandy, when
Yeah.
Moses mentioned the argument was no, they said tribal, there are tribal, but we bashed ACT, and good also the government then under former President Weah,
Yeah.
right? We bashed ACT. The country came down on what's his name, the head of the veteran.
Nangbe.
Nangbe on this very show, in this very seat, and said that we're organizing the crew defense force,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everybody
And that's
bashed
the
at him,
Yeah.
which is the same. I commend everybody for that.
Yes.
But don't we have this thing not existing? Is it
We
because
have.
they are the fullers? But we have these things existing.
yeah.
Not even
Just
the
name me
trap-
one.
No, but I'm saying even in the church, we have security provided by. When you talk about gun, we have not seen them with gun.
No,
When we see them with gun, they are different things.
missing this argument.
Where?
In the church,
Gentlemen, we have to
in the
transition.
house, when that mixed trap is okay. But when you name, there is no church you will say, only this specific tribe that the security.
No,
That's
I
the
got your
point.
point. I got
That's
your
the point. So don't
You
be
are
saying
quite
like,
right.
say we
No,
trying to.
I'm not dismissing your
Yeah,
point.
so-
The point here is when we're going for them particularly, this conversation is not limited only to tribal.
Trouble. No.
It's not limited only to tribal.
We know that we're discussing a particular topic that
Okay, so
exists right
gentlemen,
now.
let's hear
So we
from
deal with
Prince
it.
Crippler
Yeah.
quickly, and then we can transition. Let's hear from Prince Crippler.
I think Kevin has
Oh, Prince,
tried-
is that my brother, Prince Crippler?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crippler,
Prince,
Kevin.
Two of you, Brian. Two of you.
I
I think.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
why, my brother?
Prince,
Two of
answer.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pleasure
two of-
to
You agree.
Oh, we agree?
Two of you get light skin.
Let Prince Crippler come in quickly.
Prince, what's up?
Naba, bro. Good to hear from you again. But like Kevin said, Kevin has struck it very effective and efficiently. I think the police should not be looking at the structuring of private, defense group on the basis of their names, the objective, the purpose, the intention should be the fundamental guides. Whether we like it or not, the police All of the state security agencies in that country don't have the capacity to provide security to the extent that will guarantee the individual safety of those Muslims that are going to go to pray. As a kid in Liberia, we used to joke, we say, look, by the time Ramadan comes in, when the people go, when the Muslims are going to pray, if you don't have slippers, that's the time to get enough of slippers. That's the time to get enough of slippers. Some kids innocently will go to the mosque and grab all the Muslim people's slippers and carry it. So whether or not we agree with the Fula governor, whether or not the state issue a permission for them to carry on their protection, they will still carry on that protection. They will put in place mechanisms to protect themselves. Self-preservation is the first rule of nature. We often always look at things from the public perspective, the public all crap. But why can't we go into the sense of the nature? I had one situation in Senegal. I was very furious when I went on an advocacy venture and realized that the Senegalese government were issuing permit to prostitution. And I asked the Senegalese government official, why do you do this? This is immoral. Then the guy said, look, but Prince, if we don't issue them permit, they're still going to go into illegal sexual activities, and we'll not be able to tell them whether they should use condom. We'll not be able to tell the hotels when to allow them in and all those things. So to regulate the process so that it doesn't harm the rest of the population, we have to grant them the legal permit, and then we tell them how to go about prostitution without harming themselves and harming the entire population. We need to look at things from those perspectives. For me, that's my point in there. That's my point.
If we say, okay, let the Fula people say, okay, we agree, you provide protection for all of the mosques. Do we have the capacity to provide protection for all of the mosques? If the Fula people say, okay, we dissolve the group, we agree, we're wrong, we're abide by the police, do we have the capacity?
So George, the Fula people say that I want to.
No.
If the Muslim people say, then I will listen to you, right?
No, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's something wrong when you say that Fula security.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Ask me if the Muslim people say I will answer.
No, there's nothing wrong with saying the Fula security because they ascribe that name onto themselves.
No, it's
to
wrong.
Provide
it's wrong. You just said there's nothing wrong with them saying that. So there is something
fundamentally wrong. No, but I'm saying we are also
we're
jumping on them, and when we have these very secure structures in our different places, exactly. Even in the church. I talked about Kroma.
That mace trap. It's not one trap that protecting Kroma.
The Ministry of Justice did not limit the conversation to tribe. That's what I said to you. They didn't limit it to tribe.
You know, Kevin, when you read the Ministry of Justice statement, it pointed straight to our discussion. It says no tribe. That point. And this is the tribal group.
But it went beyond that. It went beyond. But that's why I
not room on the meat of the other discussion about tribal.
Kroma is not a tribal security structure, but he has a security structure. There were issues about one of Kumi's security, right? Yeah. They said one of Kumi's security, he's a presidential candidate, but he had a security guard who allegedly carried one arm. His name was Zibo, right? Zibo, I can still remember the name. Yeah. His name was Zibo. So they said Zibo was carrying firearm.
He's not authorized.
And he was never authorized to carry firearm. Simple. So it didn't limit. So it falls in line with this.
Gentlemen, we have to transition. Please. We have to transition. We got only 20 minutes.
So I beg to leave. I just want
to thank you.
You want me to go?
You try. But the tribe issue is where we really stand in whole tribe.
I agree with the tribe. Yeah. I didn't limit the conversation to the tribe.
No, but that's why I brought the whole discussion. That's why the flag governor was clarifying. That's the whole topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
The name. That's it.
Okay. So, gentlemen, we have to transition quickly. Please play that video, pull that video out, the video that has to do with the LEC visiting our homes. We don't know whether that has legal backing or not. Please play that video quickly. In 20 minutes, let's discuss that.
Okay, yeah. Hearing? Yeah, hearing? Yeah. What is the question now? Any question? Question is the police? So, one next. Okay, so...
Off the meter breaker.
Okay. Okay, so can we go across?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, man. Okay. Yeah, so that go across. Heron, my man, that one. One nice again. Yeah.
Okay, to be exact, right?
Yeah.
Wait, one
So
minute.
just don't lie.
To be exact, we off the power from the meter, right?
Yeah.
But why the digital?
Okay, yeah. So
All
I'm
the
saying,
receptacles.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
So all of the
receptacle.
receptacles.
Yeah, the
And
teacher.
then you want the free power.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So Heron, yeah, you see, yeah, okay, yeah, we're seeing.
You see it?
Yeah.
So they stay having 206 input and the output is 222. So that is the stabilizer.
Let me see if I can zoom in a bit.
You need layout, okay.
Okay. So yeah, 206. Yeah, and 22. Yeah. So yeah. What?
And let's begin with you, Edwin. We often like to begin with you because you are a student of law. You are in the law school.
But in the case the magistrate is a staff of LEC.
No, I know he's also at the LEC, but we are beginning with him because of his legal knowledge. What LEC has begun doing in the last few days or weeks, visiting homes at night and trying to clamp down on power theft, does it have any legal backing? Visiting people home at night.
Well, let me first of all send this caveat. I do not speak for the entity. The
we
entity
know.
has a spokesman, but as you said, based on my knowledge and understanding, I do strongly believe that the actions is actually not appropriate.
Not appropriate.
Because yes, and there's a reason why I say that. There are regulations. LEC has been regulated by the
Getting some feedback, yeah. Okay.
So LEC actually is being regulated by the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Authority. So everything that LEC does it has a regulatory guidance to that. And I have not seen in any of those regulatory policies that LEC has the right to move to people's homes at odd hours at night. Sometimes you say these things. Yes, I'm strongly against power theft. And I think power theft has, in some way helped to cripple the entity, because the entity needs to generate the needed resources to be able to expand, to be able to bring in new generation. But however, whatever you're doing, you have to be very careful, because there are humans existing and there are laws that protect some of these things. And like I said the other night, I had this conversation with one of my colleagues who is a senior lawyer, because he now is an attorney at law. And the normal conversation back and forth. He said, look, Formula, law is reasoning. I said, yes, law is reasoning, but there are laws that are also written on the book. So it comes to the reasoning aspect when the court has to look at public policy and what is good in the best interest of the public. Now, I know it's difficult to say you need to get a search and seizure warrant to go to everybody's homes in Liberia. However, that's why you have the latitude that you can do it in the daytime. But at night, there are other risk factors that are associated with that. Take, for example, Slobo George lives in Dixville. And LEC went there maybe 2 nights ago around 2 a.m. Slobo George maybe woke up from bed, came, and they went around the house and such, and saw that, maybe he's not doing power theft or so, but they just, suspicious of him.
They caught the man sleep.
Yes.
I was sleeping, enjoying my sleep, snowing.
But again, maybe there was a criminal in that area monitoring what the LEC guys were doing. 2 nights or 3 nights after, the criminals come, maybe dressed in the same LEC vest and knock at your door and wake you up. And you think, oh man, maybe it's the same LEC guys who have come, and you open your door and you get armed robbed. Or God forbid, somebody in your home get killed or something. Who will Slobo blame for that act?
LEC.
Of course. So I said to him, I said,
Is
so
it Mohammed
this is the
Sharif?
danger.
What's full name?
Who, the
MD, yeah.
Yes, he's
Mohammed Sharif?
yes.
Okay, we'll blame him then.
So I said to him, I said, this is the danger. You know, and for me, I always tell them, let's stop going around in cycles. Let's stop doing the same thing over and again and expecting different results. We've battled with this power theft thing for the past decade, because I've been in LEC for 10 years. We battled with this power theft issue for the past 10 years. And we as a country, not even as an institution, we are yet to actually identify a solution. Then there's a systematic problem. Because everybody comes, they think they can put people in vehicles to just run around from point to point. We need to sit back and ask ourselves, how is the people in Ivory Coast fighting power theft? You've traveled to those countries. Do you see people in cars running around the place? We traveled to Ghana, almost 7 million people in Accra. If ECG were to deploy power theft group in Accra, you're talking about almost, you have to deploy about 10 to 15,000 people. The simple use of technology in the 21st century. So why are we giving ourselves difficulties? And with the way our country is, with the way our city is built, it becomes difficult to fight power theft in the absence of technology. That nobody lied to anybody here that they can fight power theft. All I think they're doing is a charade.
So how other countries
After
fighting
1 month,
you said that you sit down home as Edwin, you said that
you use smart technology. I went to ECG.
Okay.
I went to Ghana. I have a friend. There's a room at the ECG headquarters, bigger than this room. You sit down right here and monitor 1 million meters, everything on the dashboard.
Okay.
And with the click of a button, you will know how much power Slobo George Horse used last night, how much power he bought last night. When Slobo George meter goes off, you will know. You can, just by the click of the button, you will know Slobo George's telephone number, when last he recharged, and so forth. And you can pick up the phone and call him, say, Mr. George, we realize that your meter been off for 2 weeks. Were you out of the country? What is the issue? And then they start to investigate. And you see, and I tell people, this is why even LEC don't win some of these power theft cases, because our court system is based on evidence. When you run to the person's house at night, you go and cut the line using all the stadium power. The man coming from sleeping, he tired. You know what you talking about. You take that man to court, and the judge asks you, but what is the evidence? Then you come and say, oh, the man was stealing power, and we just went there, we cut the line. The judge will throw the case out.
Okay, Edwin, let's hear from you, Moses, quickly, because we have limited time. Moses, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I agree with everything that Edwin said. Look, there's what we call self-appraisal or self-evaluation. Basically, like he said, you look at what your intervention is, and then you take a critical look at what is working and what is not working. And I think that's the problem that we have. We just introduce our interventions. We're not tracking what is working and what is not working. So in a situation like that, people acting impulsively, they just wake up in the morning, oh, this is what they want to do. Because if I'm sleeping 2 o'clock in the morning, it is illegal for you to come and wake me up because you claim that I am connected to the grill illegally. You have no right to do that. And then when you do that, you create room for criminals. Again, like Edwin said, you could come, you leave my house today, 2 days, somebody dressed come as LEC, or technicians. They come and raid my family and I. So do not endanger the safety of our people. Rather figure out what you need to do to address this problem. If you need to do a comparison of what you're doing in Liberia, compare that with what is happening in Sierra Leone, compare that with what is happening in Ghana, then maybe you can be able to learn from them. That would be my suggestion. Yeah.
Okay. Dave, let's hear from you.
Let's establish first, at what time of the night have they started going to these private homes?
What after 7 or 8?
After
But-
7,
but-
8.
but
Yeah, no,
quickly-
no, I'm not
quickly,
saying it's
Tagbe,
all right. I
Tagbe,
just wanted
let me-
to know. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Tagbe,
brother.
let me just say this. Absolutely, it's absolutely wrong to go to anybody's house at night. It is absolutely wrong.
After working time.
Official businesses are executed what day hours. You don't come to my house 6 o'clock in the night.
So what I wanted to, why I was asking that question is, you know, it's now a justification that, you know, the
LEC should be
LEC,
visiting people
it's now a justification that LEC should be visiting people. And I think my best guess is LEC has started going to people's houses at night to find out whether they're still in covered or not. Maybe because those who are engaged in a power theft, what they do, they know that in the day LEC will come around, so they do the disconnection, so that in the night they can connect, they can make those illegal connections. I think that's why LEC has decided to go there in the
Which
night.
is wrong.
But that is absolutely wrong. I don't know.
You listen to your colleague how they are fighting power theft in Ghana.
Sabo.
Yeah.
But we haven't had that. We
Please,
haven't brought that technology.
No, we need to get a technology.
We need to get it. So
if Ghana can have that technology, why we can have
So
it?
what we are saying,
If Ghana can have it.
so Sabo, it's not a good thing to do, no matter what time they go there, whether that's 6 or 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I don't know whether it's backed by the law as you are going to people's homes. As you guys said, I agree.
There's absolutely no
Because
law backing
anybody can impersonate as LC person and then burst into your house and then they hijack you and
Me,
take all your
nobody should
things
come to
from
my house because
So-
LEC are not going to open my door.
but the thing is that, but then we're
Yes.
really backward. We're really backward.
But
And
do you
like
know,
what, yeah,
we are backward.
we don't
You
have
know?
we don't have
For me,
technology to
We are just in a
For me,
circle.
for me to sit home and just put someone off or
Yeah.
put
For
someone
me,
on.
I want
We
to
don't
say
have
the
that.
show.
Yes and yes out. We are just in
The
a
show.
circle.
Yeah.
The show was a good show.
Mhm.
It was
Are you
very
are you
fine.
No,
close?
but
Are you
LEC,
closing now?
LEC
Yeah,
better
it was
something.
very
Are you
fine.
closing now?
And so I'm already closing because I'm looking.
No, but, George, you gotta
And
wait.
I
We
want to say,
conclude
you see
our
this
thought. You
project,
finish
current
speaking on the
budget.
LEC matter.
There is
Remember your
50
back.
million United States dollars in this budget for smart metering for LEC. Hello, Chief?
There's 30 million, not 50.
Yeah, so 30 million. So that it could be around 30, 40, 50.
No, there's
But-
30 million.
But the truth is, to invest in the smart metering to minimize power theft is one of the most important things I think we need to do. Then going to people's homes.
Yeah, that's
at night
absolutely
hours.
wrong. Yeah.
There's a risk factor to that.
The key contributors to power theft in this country, in my opinion, may be wrong, are some of the same people that work with LEC.
Of course.
Some of the people on the field.
The system.
They have their communities.
Yeah.
Those communities are protected. They got special team that working
Yeah.
for them. So whenever, even they change and they send them on the other side, the other team that sending them people on that side, up with them on the people on that side.
Yeah.
This is the key reason why you cannot defeat power theft in Liberia under these circumstances, except smart metering, where you will sit down and look at everything in one room. So that's why I stand on this.
No, yeah. And,
Okay, so let me go to Prince Crippler here. Prince, yeah,
So
can
here's
you
the
come on
other
quickly?
side. Yes, the other side. I agree with all the arguments around the table. But the other side is not all of the people that do power theft do so because they want to, take power illegally. There are lots of people who are disconnected. Their meter have problems.
Yes.
Different situations surrounding they are getting power, and they call LEC forever.
It takes almost
LEC
1 year.
wouldn't come there to solve their problem.
But the first time John Kennedy has agreed with you.
When
Crippler.
somebody get used to a life
service.
living on electricity, and then power goes off even for 10 minutes, it's like you are in hell.
Sure.
And you waiting for LEC to come forever. LEC is not coming. And you see lots of people around who are not paying bill, and they got different means of getting electricity. You are tempted to go to that means. So LEC herself need to work internally on herself.
She says meter 150 for one.
Work internally. Let me tell you something. I'm right here in the US. I
everything.
running about four
Gentlemen, somebody's on the floor.
I'm running about 4 different structures in Monrovia. One of my structure where I used to live before, the meter got burned. We're waiting for almost 6 months now to get a new meter. When you go there, they tell you leave your number and they're going to call you. So lots of people are doing power tech over there because the LEC frontline workers, like George said, they wouldn't want to respond to the real things that will generate revenue for LEC. What they want to respond to is what's going to put money in their personal pockets.
Yes.
So we need to deal with those things. Going for those technology you talk about, they are good. But if you have the humans that should work with those technology are not willing to work with it to get it, achieve the government goals and objectives, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Well, thank you, Prince. Thank you. Really appreciate.
Prince, I agree with you. Yeah.
Really appreciate your input tonight. That was David Talbot, Edwin Fambula.
Only commented on LEC.
Please, and George Kennedy, Moses Sani, gentlemen, thank you very much. Along with our producers, we have to go. Our time is not in our favor.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go. Thanks to you, our viewers, our listeners. Join us tomorrow again for another fascinating, interesting edition of the Nighttime Heat. Until then,
thanks to
George is running. Have a splendid night.